Hey guys, it's Wendy Hutchinson with Alinea Life Coaching and The Path of Me. I'm talking today about presence versus presents, like Christmas presents, because we're coming up on the holidays. It's November of 2019. I can't believe we are just speeding towards the end of the year. I don't know where the time went, but man, it flew by. And a lot of us have been kind of caught up in this manic pace of achieving, doing, rushing, kind of constantly living maybe 3 or 4 steps ahead of ourselves all the time, which means we're constantly chasing something. And I'm talking today about presence, which is about being present in your life. It's a completely different experience than just kind of hustling through your life and always moving mentally towards the next thing and the next thing without actually being in the moment that you're living in right now. And I was completely guilty of that for most of my life. I feel like I missed most of my life because I had such a long to-do list. I had agendas that I needed to meet and work, and I had kids, and I had schedules, and I had deadlines, and it was very stressful. And all I focused on was that next step and that next step on my list. I was never present in my moment and able to really enjoy what was presenting in my life. Maybe that was just sitting with my husband and having dinner. Because I was physically sitting there, but mentally I was not there. So I'm trying to talk today about presence and how we can incorporate that into our daily life. Because when you're present, you're actually in the moment. You're feeling it, tasting it, experiencing it. And it's a fully integrated and beautiful moment instead of something you're hustling through to get to the next moment, and the next moment, or the next year, or the next marker, or the next whatever it is you're chasing. So my first step or suggestion on being present is to pause. Hit pause. When you hit pause, you actually take a breath and you take a moment and reset and remind yourself that you need to be here in the here and now. So if you're starting to feel anxious and stressed and you're rushing and you're looking for your purse and you're trying to get your kids to put their shoes on and you're starting to feel like you're freaking out a little bit, hit pause, take a deep breath or 2, reset, be present to what's happening right now, and adjust. Adjust your mindset, adjust your energy. Calm down. You will get there when you get there. The world's not going to end if you're 5 minutes late to the game, or to practice, or the science fair, or the grocery store, or whatever you're trying to, wherever you're trying to get to. It's okay. If you're starting to feel anxiety about the to-do list, reassess what's really important for you. Take your time. It's okay. It's okay if things go out a little bit late. It's okay if you take a moment to collect your thoughts. Even if you're sitting at a red light or you're at a stop sign, take a few intentional deep breaths. Breathing is really powerful. First of all, we need to breathe to live. And when we're stressed, we hold our breath. So I'm going to say the first thing I want to suggest when you are learning to be present in your life is to breathe. Breathe deep and pause and create space in your life to do that. So maybe whenever you're at a stop sign, take a few deep breaths. It doesn't take any time and you're sitting there anyway. So that's my first suggestion. The second suggestion for me, that's worked for me, has been to really be mindful of my priorities. I found that a lot of the things I thought were so important just aren't that important to me anymore. I let things go. I took some things off my plate and I took some things off my list. For example, I used to always want a great Christmas card. It's a picture of my family and my dogs. And I did have those perfectionist tendencies. So trying to get 2 teenage boys and 2 crazy dogs to cooperate for one photo was kind of like herding cats, and I'm not kidding. It was usually very stressful and I was usually irritated. But then we all would put the fake smile on, click the photo. I'd be so happy I got my photo to go out on the card to show everybody that we are all a-okay. Things are fabulous at the Hutchinson household and we have our shit together. Thank you very much. Have a great year. And that was my ridiculous standard for years. And I would receive all those cards from my friends too. Perfect adventures they've gone on. How many of you have actually gotten that annoying newsletter from that one friend who has to prove to everybody how awesome their life is, and it's all about every vacation they took the entire year and how great their kids are doing, and it's basically a brag fest and it's nauseating. I don't miss those. Somehow I dropped off their list, thank God. But you know, there's this pressure in society to perform. There's this pressure in society to show up and look a certain way. Like your life is amazing and everything in life is great or better than great, fabulous, you know. But that's not reality, right? And so I'm asking you to just think about that and think about where you can maybe take something off your plate. I just don't send Christmas cards anymore. I just don't. For a while I did. I'm going to insert a photo of my favorite Christmas card of the Hutchinsons, keeping it real. We were on a lake. We all basically look like shit. My son's got a hand-rolled cigarette in his mouth. There's a broken boat dock behind us. It was totally impromptu. We were out on a pontoon. It's like my favorite Christmas card because we're freaking keeping it real. You know, there was no glossy photo that day. And I'm like, and here it is. Here we are. Okay. My husband's got his camo Walmart sunglasses on. You know, it's pretty hilarious. I'll drop it in. But let's be a little bit kinder to ourselves and be present. You know that every moment counts with our families. I have some friends who are losing their parents right now. We're kind of at that age where people are getting older. And you start to realize when you lose somebody what is really important. And it's those moments. It's those moments that you sat on a swing and talked. Or it's that moment with your kid when they were sick and you were laying in bed with them, reading them a book. Or that moment with your husband when you just tuck yourselves in for the night and you're reading next to each other. Those moments matter. That's what really matters in life. Connecting with the people that you love really matters in life. And sometimes they don't love you, you know? Sometimes, especially if you're a parent, your kids don't like you. Maybe you have teenagers. I know my teenagers didn't like me. I don't even know if they like me now. They're in their 20s. You know, but everybody's kind of wherever they need to be in their life, and that's okay. I still love everybody. But even in those moments where your kid is, you know, angry at you or your husband's angry at you, it's still a moment and it's a sacred moment. So regardless of what's happening in my life and my family and my relationships, I still am very present to it. And I try to keep an open heart, regardless of what's happening around me or what's going on with other people in my life, and how they feel about me. It's okay. Everybody's where they need to be. So we don't always need to be just present for the good times. We need to be present in our lives also for the struggle and the heartbreak and the bad times. And we need to be present for ourselves, basically. We need to be present so we can appreciate what's really important in this life. And it's time. It's time with our families. It's time spent honoring ourselves and the people we love. And there's a lot of pressure to buy Christmas. There's a lot of pressure to create that wow, magical moment when somebody opens a gift. And I think somewhere along the way we lost track of what this holiday is really about. I thought it was supposed to be about love, faith, hope, the promise of something magical coming, something beautiful, maybe a miracle. Maybe it's about miracles and believing in miracles. But one thing I know is it has turned into a commercial event. So the presents that we associate with Christmas are all material. They're hollow. They feel a little bit shallow. And of course, every store out there, it's not even Thanksgiving, has had Christmas up since Halloween. So that might tell you something. I guess my message is to really think about what is really important this year. If you feel pulled to buy some fabulous presents, do that. Do that with an open heart. Do that without an agenda. Do that because you want to and not because you have to. But through this holiday process, I'm asking you to take some moments to really be present and ask yourself, does this align with who I am? Does this event that I'm feeling I have to attend align with who I am? Let me get really present with myself and ask myself how I feel about this. Because presence is really about connecting to yourself and your feelings. It's about mastering your mind, giving yourself permission to pause and breathe. And when you're in a space of presence, you can actually handle stressful and overwhelming situations a lot better because you're calm. It 100% starts when you can get into your heart space and really sit with how you feel about everything that's happening. When you're in your mind is like a hamster wheel, and it'll spin and spin and spin, and it'll mess you up. You won't respond to whatever's happening, especially during this stressful holiday season, as your highest and best self. But when you're calm, when you're present, when you're breathing, when you are feeling the feels and honoring your truth, that is going to make your holiday season a lot more meaningful. You're going to show up for people in a more powerful way and loving way. And hopefully, you'll end the year strong with beautiful connections and moments that you're actually present in. Maybe that's just sitting in front of the fire. Maybe it's just playing cards with your kid or hanging out with your husband and talking and having some hot chocolate or something. I don't know. Anyway, I just wanted to share that reminder. Let's try to be a little more present in our lives and focus on opening our heart space and feeling and breathing and basically calming down. Calm down, you guys. It's all going to be okay. All right? Anyway, that's all I had to say. I hope you all have a great week. I love you all. Be kind to yourselves, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.